What is going on, guys? Coach Joe here at the Lion's Den. In this video, we're going to be covering how to get some big, thick, juicy arms and what I do personally to grow my arms. Guys, like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about how to grow your biceps and triceps, so the arms. And I put other videos out in the past, which I'll link throughout this video, but the main thing that I've noticed when it comes to growing the arms has been increasing the frequency and increasing the volume. So compared to larger muscle groups, the biceps and triceps are going to be smaller. So when we have smaller muscle groups, typically they tend to recover faster and we can actually push the volume higher per session with those muscle groups. So when it comes to frequency for myself, typically I train the arms 2 to 3 times per week. So on my main pushing days, I always like to incorporate some sort of tricep assistance or accessory work. And then on my pulling days, I like to throw in a little bit of biceps. And then typically, I always just have one session completely designated to arms throughout the week. So anywhere in that 2 to 3 times per week to hit the biceps and triceps is going to be that sweet spot in terms of frequency. Now, when it comes to volume, I'm more in favor of higher amounts of volume when training arms. So I like to be anywhere in that 12 to 15 rep range, maybe sometimes 20 depending on the exercise. So that's where I have found the most growth and kind of what the research is best suggesting when it comes to arms, but obviously play around and see what works best for you. The last tip when it comes to arms that I really like when it comes to training arms is supersetting. So in this training footage that you're watching, what I did is actually 3 supersets with a bicep and a tricep per superset, and I did it for about 3 sets and in that 12 to 15 rep range for each exercise. So we're gonna get right into it talking about the first one. And my philosophy with this first superset is going to be just priming the body with a bigger movement. So what I mean by that is instead of doing isolation work or just doing single arm work, I like to do more of a compound lift or compound movement for the arm. So I start off by doing, I call them actually J-Zap presses, because we already have the JM press and we have the Z press and we have skull crushers, and I find this movement kind of in between a skull crusher and a JM press. So I'm going to call it the J-Zap press. So let's make this thing infamous, baby. And you better start throwing these J-Zap presses in and tagging me everywhere, because I want to see these triceps grow bigger than freaking James and the Beanstalk. James and the Beanstalk? Or is it Jack and the Beanstalk and James and the Giant Peach? This is awkward. So we have the J-Zap press, okay, and I did 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, and the first set I want to have at least 3 reps in the tank, the second set about 2 reps in the tank, and then the last set about 1 rep in the tank, just to gauge the intensity. We're going to superset that with a bicep curl. We're going to use a bar, so either a barbell or easy bar. Now, I use an easy bar because it's a little bit better on my wrists and elbows. If you're fine with a barbell, use a barbell or a straight bar. That's totally fine. But for me, the easy bar just feels a little bit better on my joints and really allows me to hit the biceps pretty hard. So just going back and forth between those 2 movements, and I'm typically going to rest anywhere from 2.5 to 3 minutes between each superset, so I can really focus on hitting it hard when I'm going through that full range of motion. So that's the other key point here, which I talked about in my other videos. We want to get full range of motion for all these exercises. I really don't see much reason why we wouldn't want to hit full range of motion. Working with Mike Israetel, the RP Strength crew, you know, they have a lot of great information on why we should go full range of motion. So I love to hit full ROM with all these movements that I'm going to be talking about. Now next, so the second of the 3 supersets, we move over to some straight bar pushdowns. So a little bit more isolation here of the triceps. And we're going to do some hammer curls. So I really like doing the hammer curls because now we're getting into some single arm work, and we're really going to hit the biceps as well as the brachialis in the arm. So there's different muscles that we want to hit to really kind of give that arm that full look. So when we're doing these guys, just really focusing on that mind muscle connection. So for the push downs, the straight bar push down, something I really like to think about is almost like I'm pushing myself out of the pool, right? Where you're almost doing that muscle up to get out of the pool when you're on the edge of the pool. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm doing these. I'm really trying to push the bar down and away from me and hit that tricep as hard as I can. Now on the bicep hammer curls, I'm trying to get that full range of motion. I don't want to use too much body English or use my hips or cheat or anything like that. Keeping it nice and strict and really trying to squeeze my bicep as tight as possible, getting that full range of motion, almost driving that dumbbell up towards my forehead just so that I'm getting a full contraction. C curls, baby! Z curls. Once again, these are going to be for 3 total sets for that 12 to 15 rep range. Typically on the straight bar pushdowns, you can maybe do that 15 to 20 reps just because you're using both arms. So it all depends on how you're feeling, what's going to be the best rep range for the stimulus that you're looking for. But for me, I'd like to stick to that 15 to 20 for these. And on the hammer curls, I'm going anywhere from that 12 to 15 per arm. Lastly, on tap for the third superset for the triceps, we're going to do cable kickbacks. Now with these cable kickbacks, you want to make sure that the weight is light enough that you can fully lock the arm out with the extension of the elbow, okay? So that's going to be a key one. If you go too heavy, you're not going to be able to get that lockout, and I think just those little degrees of range of motion is really going to help give your muscle the best stimulus possible for growth and just look like a nice full belly for the triceps, okay? So when you're hitting those full ROM, for this I did about 15 per arm. Same thing, 3 reps left in the tank on the first set, all the way down to 1 rep left in the tank on the third set. And then we're supersetting with incline alternating dumbbell curls. And I really like these for the isolation on the bicep. We can't cheat these at all, okay? We're keeping that back pressed against the bench and just really putting as much emphasis into the bicep as possible. And you're just gonna alternate back and forth. Once again, 12 to 15 reps per arm. First set, about 3 reps left in the tank. Last set, you should probably have 1 rep left in the tank. Now it's up to you if you want to increase the weight each set, or if you find that just due to fatigue, the same weight is giving you those reps left in the tank, then that's gonna be good. But that's pretty much the entire workout. Very simple, in and out within 35, 45 minutes, guys. Doing those supersets, getting a lot of blood to the muscle as fast as possible. You know, just doing work, not losing focus. And if you do this, okay, or just throw this workout in, you can obviously use exactly what's in here, but you can swap things out. So instead of, you know, doing the J-Zap press, because we're sticking with that, you could do maybe a close grip bench press to really hit those triceps, or try a different barbell to isolate those triceps. And for any of the single arm work, throw in whatever variations work best for you. But I like to start off, like I said, with more of a bigger compound movement, and then kind of work my way down to more isolation or single arm stuff just to finish out. And typically I can hit a little bit more extra volume with those movements. But that is it, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and share it with all your friends on social media platforms, etc. But I hope that this helped. Watch the other videos on the arm training. And of course, guys, stay a lean, mean strength machine.